If you're watching this channel, you probably watch ice skating on TV, but have you ever wanted to join them? You don't have to be super good at ice skating to go and enter a competition. In fact, you can even enter a competition at the Adult 1 skating level. You don't need to do a spin, you don't need to do a jump. Here to shed some light on the whole process is skating director Elaine. Elaine is also an adult skater and a coach, and she trains regularly for adult skating competitions. Let's do this. How do you get started?
You're in Learn to Skate classes and you do want to get into competing. You probably know the coaches at your local rink, and there's probably someone you're more drawn to than others. And so if one of those coaches really works well with you and you guys communicate, just go up to them, ask if they have a business card, see if they're taking on any new students, and reach out to them. And then ask them about like the opportunities, the competitions coming up, any of the shows that they might have. And then they can get your program ready. You're thinking, well, I'm just not ready yet. I need more experience. But the answer is you can. You can compete at any level as an adult. There's levels, there's competitions for everyone. So when you start thinking about competing, it can be a little bit overwhelming. So sometimes people like to start with a show, and most clubs offer a holiday show. Group numbers are nice because then you're not out there by yourself. So you could sign up for a group number. And I know at our rink, we have lots of adult programs and classes, and we do Christmas programs and holiday shows and Halloween shows, and we allow adults in them. So I would look into that first if you're a little on edge about actually going out there alone and competing. But if you do want to do it alone, they usually also offer solos at those shows, the recital style ones. So you could do that as well. Local competitions do offer all the levels of adults. So you don't need to have jumps. You don't need to have spins. They have levels where you can throw your bunny hop in and your mohawk and your crossovers. You don't need to have a triple axel and, a Bielman spin to have a good, fun, successful competition.
Do you have to find your own music?
So what a coach will usually do is once they realize what level that you're going to skate and the stuff that you're going to do in your program, they'll pick music for you. Or you can, as an adult, I ask my adult skaters to send me 4 songs. And then I listen to them and I go, okay, this one works, because you're new and you're not entirely sure what speed music you should skate to. Because some people pick really, 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 really slow music because they think that's what they need. But that's not always what you need. Some coaches like to pick. And then there's others that don't. If they don't want to pick and they say, pick your own music, it's good to send a few to the coach and just say, hey, which one out of these? Because it is really helpful, because they know and they've choreographed before what might work for your skating style. They'll cut it down to the length that you need. So it's best to get a coach. I know some adults try to not have a coach. And I mean, you don't need a coach all the time. You don't need to come in for 4 private lessons a week. Even if you just do a lesson a month, I have a lot of adults, I'll do a lesson a month just to kind of fine tune things, but they're going to make sure the program has the right elements and the music's the right length, because you don't want to get any music violations, because you can get deductions off if the music is the wrong length. And depending on your level, some will say you can't go over a minute 30, some are up to a minute 40, some are up to a minute 50. And so you have to really read it, because some will say a minute 30, give or take 10 seconds. And then other levels will say 150 max. So you have to know what the music length is. And obviously, we all know there's certain songs you shouldn't skate to because, bad words and things. But a coach is going to go, okay, well, this rhythm speed is better for your skating. Or that sounds a little sad. I don't know if that's the right vibe we're going for. So it's good to have a coach look over your music type, but you also want an input, because as an adult, we don't want to skate it to something we don't like. So if a coach is too pushy on something you don't like, I would speak up on that too and say, hey, can I give you some of these options? And could you pick out of the 4 I like? And that's the way I like to do it, because I want to make sure they like it. So I always have them send me a few. With kids, sometimes you're just like, well, you got to kind of help them along. But you guys, you need to like it and enjoy it, because sometimes I've noticed people keep programs for a couple of years too. So if it's something you don't like, you're not going to want to do it as much. And I want you to run your program as many times as you can. And so I want you to enjoy listening to that song, because you might be listening to it for a long time. It's not like Dance Moms where they change their program every other week. You're going to have it a while. So make sure you enjoy it. You're definitely going to want somebody to choreograph. Most coaches do both. They'll teach you your waltz jump and they will also choreograph your program. There are some coaches that hate choreographing. So you need to make sure, if you love your Learn to Skate instructor and you're like, man, I really liked Adult 3 and that was the best coach I had, just make sure you ask to see if they like to choreograph or if they work with someone that choreographs. With adults, I like them to add some of their own flair to it. When you start as an adult, like skating backwards and looking over your shoulder is not like a comfortable motion, right? And so when you start later in life, that feels awkward. Or I have adults that don't like to do a mohawk one direction. So they always want to do their mohawk this way, no matter which way they're facing, even though it would make more sense if they wanted to go that way to do their mohawk this way. So I get there's some certain things that might need to change, and I'm not going to force a lot of things on people, and most coaches don't. But at the same time, it is good to have someone choreograph, because you do get scored on components, which is your skating skills, how you interpret the music, and just your pattern on the ice. So your transitions, things like that. And you don't have all those at the basic level, right? But you do want to use the ice, because I've had judges say, especially in the lower levels, they score you higher on your overall skating skills and components if you're on 1 foot more and if you use the full ice surface. And depending on your level, they want you to go around the ice surface more than once. But in the lower levels, they want you to at least complete the full oval. They don't want you to just stay in the middle. And so if you're trying to choreograph yourself, you might be like, okay, well, the judges are here, I want to perform to them, and you might not use the whole ice surface, but then that's going to cost you in your score. So a coach is going to know that, okay, they already went this direction, we probably should go this direction as we come through, because that shows that you can, do your turns and steps both ways. You're not just circling. So there's a lot of things to think about that a lot of people don't know if they haven't been skating a long time.
There are a lot of types of competitions that you can do in figure skating. We'll cover some of the more specific types in another video. We'll also cover how much it costs, how to sign up, which levels to compete at, and what will happen at the competition itself. If this video helps you, you can help me and Coach Rachel by subscribing to the channel. Let us know in the comments what you wish you knew before you went to your first competition. Thanks for watching!